My dear students of the secondary school third year, welcome back to our TV Educational English program. Today, my dear students, we are going to make a difference. We are going to introduce Review C. We'll revise vocab, grammatical items, dialogue, translation, and the prisoner of Zend. But first, my dear students, let me introduce our dear colleagues. We'll start with Mrs. Károlين طوبيا. Welcome, Ms. Károlين.
Hello, Mr. Muhammad.
Hello, Ms. Károlين.
Hello, dear students. Welcome back to our TV program. As Mr. Muhammad had said, we had a lot to review today concerning vocabulary, grammar, translation, and plenty of stuff. Please be ready and be with us for the whole program.
Now, my dear students, I'm proud to produce my colleague, اماني خريبه. Welcome, Ms. Amani.
Welcome, Mr. Muhammad. Welcome, dear students. We've missed all of you. We're just waiting today to meet you. Just listen and get prepared. Get your papers and pens, and let's start.
Let's start, our dear students, with Review C. Review C for units 7, 8, and 9. Let's start, my dear students. Review C. Vocabulary and structure. Choose the correct answer. زي ما انتم عارفين احنا عندنا في 30 choice. Tanta is the city space my grandparents were born. Which, where, who, and why. Ms. Károlين will tell us the answer and say why.
Okay, Tanta is the city. Since Tanta is a place, then Tanta is the place where my grandparents were born. That's referring to the place. مش هستعمل which, for example, and which is used with a preposition.
إلا إذا.
And we don't have a preposition.
That's right.
So we are going to use where my parents were born.
Tanta is the city where my grandparents were born. My mother rarely space it when my sisters and I cooked the dinner for her. Apologized, appreciated, appealed, and thanked.
Okay. Now, my mother likes something. We help her. So when we help someone, we will take a positive word. Apologize is something that أنا بعتذر when I do something wrong. Appealed when you like something or not, it will not be suitable in this sentence. So the correct word is appreciated. يعني قدرت واعتبرتها حاجة كويسة. So my mother really appreciated it when my sisters and I cooked dinner for her.
Mr. Shaban has an important space in the government.
Has an important role or rule or root. What is the difference between the four words? The word role معناها دور. يعني Mr. Shabana has an important role, دور مهم in the government. طبعا rule يعني يحكم ورول حاجة مدورة وروت جذر. يبقى correct answer is the word role.
Omar's space mother is a scientist, always does well in the science tests.
Whose or who or whose and who apostrophe s or for whom. طيب أنا هنا I need to use a relative pronoun وعندي كلهم فيهم relative pronouns except letter C which is who is pronounced whose. عمر and mother عندي noun وعندي noun يبقى واضح إنه المother حاجة owned, it's something like owned or related or belonged to عمر. يبقى the only word to go is whose used for possession. عمر whose mother is a scientist always does well in the science tests.
The army captain is in a space of 50 soldiers today.
Is in charge, change, core, or care. The army captain is the one who is responsible for something. So the word responsible اللي هي مسؤول means that someone is in charge. So the correct answer to go here is the army captain is in charge of 50 soldiers today.
Lena has two brothers, but they are not good at basketball because space tall. Either is, each are, neither is, or neither are.
So Lena has 2 brothers but they are not good at basketball because مش كويسين في الباسكت. بالليه انا عندي 2 بتكلم عن 2 فلازم تبقى حاجه يا either يا neither. بس انا بقول because they are not good at basketball because ايه؟ ولا واحد منهم is tall، مش هينفع either is لان عايزه اقول negative. So because neither يعني ولا واحد منهم is tall، فالسنتنس هنا عندنا contradiction positive و negative. فsince I'm going to use the negative meaning so neither is. وخلي بالي انه neither mostly is used with verb to be او الverb اللي بعديها لازم يبقى singular verb.
That's right. I don't think that tree is space anymore. All its leaves are brown. Live, life, alive, or alone.
Now we had a clue in this sentence. All its leaves are brown. Brown يعني خلاص ما عادش فيها ولا ورقة لونها أخضر. So معنى كده إن الشجرة نفسها is dead. So I don't think that the tree is alive anymore. All its leaves are brown.
There was a fire in the toy shop and the space toy was damaged.
Both, all, every, or half. طبعا بمعنى السنتنس انه it's something fire happened وبالتالي عايزه اقول كل تقريبا كل التوي was damaged. So since I'm going to speak about كله يبقى both is not going to go, half is not going to go. So I need to say either all or every. لو قلت all it had to be all toys were damaged. لكن بما اني هعملها in general so every toy like every toy in the shop من غير ما اعيدها was damaged.
Ali said that he would be here at midday and here she is. He never space a promise. Takes,
Okay.
breaks, makes, and keeps. كده احنا وصلنا للإيديومز اللي كنا خدناها مع بعض.
Here in the sentence, he's talking about Ali as a good person who has never did something with his promise. He arrived at time, so he never breaks a promise. يعني عمره ما بيخلف البروميس أو الوعد اللي هو بيديه.
It's a space big car that all the family can travel in it.
So, such, enough, or such a. This expression is usually used when I say something that is very big, حاجة that is more than the normal stuff. So when I say it is big car, if I have big only without car, يعني adjective only, I will say it is so big. But since I said it is big car, then this is an adjective and a noun, so I need to use such a big car for the singular noun. So the answer is going to be, it is such a big car that all the family can travel in it.
We walked a really long way to get to the shop, but it was in space it had already closed.
Veil, vein, vein with the A, and view. Here we have such a small problem that may meet us as students when we answer in the exam, is that the word with the same pronunciation. So we walked a long way, and when we got to the shop, we find it closed. So it means that we did almost nothing and we didn't achieve anything. So it was بدون فائدة or بدون جدوى. So it was in vain. Choice B.
Ahmed think that it's a space hot to play tennis in the park today.
So, or such, or enough, or to. Ahmed thinks that it is. It's the same meaning that we said before, something that is very. When I need to use the expression very, I can't say it is very hot, so I can say just it's too hot. And why did I use to? Because it's followed with to play. So it is too hot to play. To plus adjective plus to an infinitive. This means it was too hot لدرجة إنه إيه to play tennis إنه كأنه ما يقدرش يلعب تنس in the park that day.
هو طبعا كلمة ما يقدرش هي النفي اللي جوه to. يعني أنا بقول it's
too hot to drink, too hot to go, the same thing. Yes.
وهي دايما to بيجي بينها صفة غير محببة في الجملة.
Negative,
يعني يعني ما ينفعش اقول مثلا is too rich to.
Yes.
طب هو غني لدرجه انه ما يقدرش ايه يعني ما يقدرش يعمل
ايه. It is too rich to do what?
طبعا ولازم اقول ان too poor اقول ان الدنيا حر جدا.
It's too rich to beg.
I can say that I'm too happy to sleep.
Yes, yeah.
مش عايزه انام يا جماعه.
It's too rich to beg, you know يعني.
The publisher told the writer that the space for his new book was next April.
Deadline, debt, line, and end. So now the publisher has a certain time to end the new book. And when I have a certain time to finish something, it is called the deadline. So the publisher told the writer that the deadline for his new book was next April.
The phone is a space for her to buy. She doesn't have enough money.
So the phone is expensive enough, or the phone is too expensive, or the phone is so expensive, or the phone is such an expensive. If I have to use one of these options and I need to choose the right one, زي ما كنا بنتكلم لما قلنا the phone is زي ما قلنا الجملة اللي فاتت the phone is أنا دلوقتي عايزة استعمل a word expression علشان أحط واحدة من the words to express or to add meaning. لو أنا عايزة أقول the phone is for her to buy، اوكي يبقى هي ايه عشان ان هي تشتريه؟ هل هو expensive enough؟ هل المينينج كده يبقى ماشي هو غالي كفايه ان هي تشتريه؟ طبعا
يعني
اتس
هي
نيجاتيف
مش
مش طبيعي ولا هو اتس too expensive for her to buy غالي زياده اللي احنا لسه كنا بنتكلم عليها، ولا it is so expensive؟ كنت ممكن اقول so expensive بس ما تنفعش هنا ليه؟ ما ينفعش اقول it's so expensive for her to buy. I have to use to plus the adjective plus to اللي احنا قلنا عليها قبل كده to show that something is more than what she can take. So the answer is the phone is too expensive for her to buy.
It's usual for people to suffer from space when they have an important job.
Stressful, distressed, stress, and stressed. In this sentence we have stressful and stress and stressed ممكن يجوا في دماغنا ان احنا نختارهم، بس انا في السنتنس هنا انا مش هينفع اختار adjective، يعني مش هينفع ان انا اختار stressful لان دي حاجه الناس بتعاني منها. So we will choose the word stress because it's a noun. It's usual for people to suffer from stress when they have an important
confusing
job.
words يعني
Yes.
some confusing words لكن they have to stick to the form. يعني احنا بنختار معنى زي ما ميس اماني بتقول لكن كمان I need to stick to the form. هل الادجكتيف ولا الناون that has to go in this place؟
دي تقريبا معظم الحاجات اللي
mistakes.
بتلخبط الستودنتس في الامتحان.
Yes, exactly.
The question was space difficult that nobody could answer it.
The question was so difficult, or the question was enough difficult, or the question was such difficult or was too difficult. Back again. لما اجي اقول the question is was such difficult لازم يبقى that was such a difficult question فما تمشيش. طب was enough difficult? How can I say it was enough difficult? Even enough before the adjective cannot go. But the only answer, it was so difficult to show how very hard it was that. We use the word so وتكملتها تبقى so that. كأني بستعملها بس متفرقين عن بعض so and then that.
Using the computer for a long time space headache.
Takes, gives, does, or makes. Here it's talking about something that made a problem for Hannah, and we will use the word gives because here gives means caused, and we will say that using computer for a long time causes or gives, if we have causes
Yeah,
it's
and
okay,
it
gives
headache.
Hannah headache.
One of the idiom, one of the expressions that we're
Yes.
using.
This book has some useful space on how best to revise.
So this book has some useful tops or taps or tapes or tips. طبعا very close لكن we know the difference. This book has some useful tops قمم taps حنفيات tapes شرائط فأكيد هي tips يعني بعض النصائح أو بعض instructions. It's like useful instructions on how best to revise. So this book has some useful tips.
Hamdi wants to study space English or history at university. He is not sure.
Either, both, neither, and half. Here again, I'm searching for the clue. He is not sure. So he is not sure. هو مش متأكد هو عايز يدرس English ولا history. So we cannot use both. Half will not go with this. Neither is negative. So we will choose Hamdi wants to study either English or history at the university. He is not sure.
We usually take a 30 space break at a school.
A 30 minutes break, a 30-minute break, a 30 minutes with apostrophe, or 30-minute and apostrophe. دي اتكلمنا فيها if you remember when we explained it وقلنا ممكن أقول I take 30 minutes. لكن if I say minute and break, then break is the noun, so this means that minute is going to be an adjective. طب can we make a plural for the adjective? Can we pluralize the adjective? طبعا we cannot. يبقى adjective بس ما يمشيش. يبقى what is the word that is going to be used? We have a 30-minute break.
My mother gave Space child at the party a small present.
All, each, either, or both. My mother gave. لو أنا قلت all هتبقى all the children، يبقى احنا عايزين plural. طب لو أنا قلت either برضو لازم هيجي معاه plural، يبقى either children. both نفس الوضع، هتبقى both children. أنا عندي هنا child واحد singular، يبقى my mother gave each child at the party a small present.
Don't drink too much coffee or it will keep you Space at night.
So it will keep you awake, or it will keep you woken, or it will keep you asleep, or it will keep you awake. طبعا asleep غلط خالص according to the meaning، لكن don't drink too much coffee لأن هيخليك صاحي. So it will keep you awake at night.
عايزين adjective.
يعني wake is a verb, woken is a verb، فطبعا they don't go. asleep negative meaning, opposite meaning، فما فيش غير you have to, it will keep you awake at night.
Our school is a Space kilometer from my house.
Half of, half a, half of a, or half. Here he's talking about the distance between my school and my house. So we cannot say half of or half of a, or even half, we'll say half a kilometer.
Khalid wants to be a Space so he can work for the government.
So Khalid wants to be a political, or a politics, or a politician, or a population. طبعا he wants to be a, I need the noun. So Khalid wants to be a politician so he can work for the government.
The shop Space I visited last week has some great souvenirs.
When, where, who, which. Of course, who will be omitted, and when is omitted also because it's for time. We will choose which because we're talking about the shop.
The place is very space. It has some more 30 rooms.
So the palace is very impressed, or impressive, or improved, or industrial. So the palace is وعنده 30 rooms فit's impressive. An adjective أهم حاجة لأنه impressed. Adjective بس it cannot go in here لأنه it's impressive for something مش people. So the palace is very impressive because it has more than 30 rooms.
I couldn't decide Space to wear to the wedding party.
Which, what, that, who. مشكلتنا واحنا رايحين اي مكان مهم خصوصا لو wedding parties we cannot decide، ما بنقدرش نقرر. يبقى انا I cannot decide what to wear to the wedding party.
Dr. Saar would like to take Space more work at the hospital, but she doesn't have time.
So she would like to take on, or to take up, or to take over, or to take in. دلوقتي لما اقول take on يعني to take on more work يعني more responsibilities. So I need to take on more work يعني to add up أزود تاني حمل عليا to take on more work at the hospital.
Now my dear students we come to the novel Prisoner of Zenda. احنا عارفين ان عندنا في 4 choices، في 4 اختيارات وفي 3 critical thinking. تعال نشوف مع بعض كده الاختيارات بتاعتنا تبقى شكلها ايه. Choose the correct answer. Why did Colonel Sapt and Fritz Van Terlenheim not eat much that evening?
They knew the food was poisoned, or they were not hungry, or they were very ill, or they did not want to eat much before the important coronation. طبعا Colonel Sapt and Fritz, both of them, they were very responsible and serious about the coronation. ما علينا من اللي الking was not very careful and was not responsible. لكن Colonel Sapt and Fritz طبعا they were very attentive to what's taking place. They were cautious قلقانين من Black Michael. فطبعا they did not want لأن هم they were preparing for the important coronation. It was not because they were not hungry ولا they were ill.
Why did the poor people in the capital want Duke Michael to become king?
They wanted things to change. They wanted things to stay the same. They thought he was a lazy man, or they wanted a war with the king. So people liked Duke Michael, and they wanted him to be the king, poor people, okay, because they wanted things to change. طبعا احنا عارفين ان الوضع في المملكة كان أفضل وكان good بالنسبة للبيبل اللي موجودين اللي هم rich people. طبعا هم دلوقتي عايزين الوضع يتغير علشان هم poor, so they like Duke Michael because of this.
The king has to return to the palace in the dark because
they don't want people to know that he was ill, or he's not wearing the king's clothes, or the poor people would attack him if they saw him, or he's frightened of the duke. طبعا the king has to return to the palace in the dark لأنه ما كانش عايز يعرف إنه the people to know that the king was ill وإلا دي it's going to make confusion with the people فhe didn't want to have this or to do this فhe wanted to get back in the dark.
Rodolphe has to leave the country before it's light so that
The duke can become king. B, nobody knows that he pretended to be the king. C, he can write a story about what happened. D, people don't think that he poisoned the king. طبعا احنا عارفين ان هو كان حابب ان هو يرجع بدري so that محدش يعرف ان هو خرج اصلا من القصر لان هو عامل انه الكينج so nobody knows that he pretended to be the king.
Answer 2 of the following questions. احنا بيجي لنا 3 اسئله احنا هنحل الثلاثه هم بقى يختاروا منهم الاثنين اللي هم عايزينه.
ما نسيبش فرصه
يعني يعني لما كل واحده غلط ولا حاجه ممكن تروح يعني. احنا نشوف الحل الاول critical thinking بتاعتنا بتقول ايه. Why do you think Duke Michael tried to get rid of his brother by poisoning him instead of any other way? هو ليه عاوز يسممه بس؟
So one of the suggested answers would be because it would be difficult to prove that he was responsible for the poisoning. يعني مش هيبقى سهل ان يثبتوا ان هو اللي كان مسؤول عن ده وكان بيشرب وبياكل في اللودج ما كانش معروف مين اللي كان معاه.
السؤال الثاني if you were Rasindel would you agree to risk your life and replace the king? Why?
Again رجعنا للكريتيكال ثينكينج questions واحنا قلنا ان مفيش اجابه صح او غلط طالما انا عندي مبرر ودليل صح لكن الافضل زي ما قلنا المره اللي فاتت ان احنا نمشي مع التكست بتاع
لان يعني ده اقتراح مننا ممكن انت لو عندك وجهه نظر ثانيه that's okay
بس اهم حاجه تقدر تثبتها. So the suggested answer yes because the future of the country depended on it او لو انا هقول no because Rasindel was not from the country and he could be in a lot of danger.
Now with translation. Translate into Arabic.
Egyptian women have always played a vital role in development projects.
لقد لعبت المرأة المصرية دائما دورا حيويا في مشروعات التطوير.
It's important for people to separate their work from their home life.
من المهم أن يفصل الناس بين عملهم وبين حياتهم الشخصية.
Now, my dear students, we come to the end of this episode today. Thank you. I hope you got benefit of what we said. Thank you, and thank you for everyone who helped us to this episode. Thank you, my dear friends.
Thank you, dears, and goodbye.
Thanks a lot. Hope you got benefit today. See you later. Bye.